Hello you all. In our previous video we are done with the skeleton and its function with the structure of bones. So here we are going to continue with the remaining parts. This is Aditi Gupta and let's begin. So this video is in the continuation with your previous one, where I have introduced you to the skeleton system, its function and the structure of bone. So if I'll ask you to tell it in the statement, in one statement, that what is the skeleton system, then we can say it that it is a framework of bones which gives you shapes and shape and support, and that is why you are able to stand erect. Now and I have also told you that there are a number of bones joined together to give you that kind of framework. So they are joining together, so there must be the parts. And now in this video, in this part, where I'm going to introduce you to the rest remaining part for the skeleton system. So here we will continue with the parts of the skeleton and joints in the whole session. Fine. So before initiating to the deeply into the matter, I must ask you to just have a look of this flow chart here, which is showing all the parts one by one that your skeleton system consists, and what are the function, each functions are existing in this whole in a tabulated form. Okay, so just have a look here. You must get clear all things about by the end of this video regarding whatever is written here. So if I'll tell you that what is these skeleton system is basically having 4 major parts, that is skull, backbone, ribs and limbs. And further here their functions are written. Skull protects your brain, backbone forms spines, ribs protects lungs and hearts, and limbs basically are of 2 types, where we are having a limbs, that one is of your arms and another one is your legs. Fine. So these things we are gonna talk about deeply further, and you should just go ahead for that. So if that is first and foremost, the top of the part of our skull is that is skull of our skeleton system. So there are 22 bones in our skull. So it is also made, that is a part of a skeleton system, and it is also consist of many further number of bones here, and which is majorly that how many numbers of bone in skulls are 22 majorly bones in that skull. Now here 8 bones protects the brain and 40 number of bones just make up your face, means that this portion is having 8 number of bones that makes your that is majorly protecting your brains inside it, and your brain exists here, and these 8 bones are protecting your brain. And and then these 14 bones left 14 bones will make you the framework of your face, that how your face are gonna look like. So here that remaining 14 number of bones are making your face, framework of your face. So skull have a socket in their eyes, and usually you know now what other parts are in our face, that is eye, nose, your jaw. So these all are containing a kind of a bone, and these bones are having a socket. Socket means it is a in which your eyes get fits into. So socket basically gives you the space where you can fit something. So the socket is skull, which gives you the place where your eyes, nostril, mouth and these all kind of things can get fixed into, and all these parts get protected over here. And it also gives the shape of our face. Obviously the main function of the bones are to give the shape of something, whether it is of your arms, whether it is of your legs, whether it is of your face. So here these bones of your skull gives the shape of your face. That is why your face, you people are having a variety of kind of shapes of their faces. Okay, some is having oval, some is having circular, some are having diamond shape face. So this is all about just due to the shape of your skull. Now there is an important thing, that all the bones are fixed over here. In skull, rest of the bones are fixed over here. Only the lower jaw, that one, this one is your lower jaw. You can also feel it by moving ahead, that whenever you move your face, but nothing, no other bones get moves, but only this that lower jaw moves. Only that lower jaw bones moves. Rest 21 bones are fixed in your skull. Okay, so 21 bones are fixed into the skull. Only which one is remaining? That one bone is movable, that is of lower jaw. So it also connects the top of the bone. Obviously that skull will definitely connect it with the other parts of your bones, that is all your lower body, which consists of further parts, your limbs, your chest, your ribs. So these all we are going to talk about later. So this basically connects with the backbone, and then it exists into the body. Now it comes to the backbone. The skull is attaching to the backbone. Now what is backbone? So backbone generally has a column of 33 small bones called vertebrae. Okay, you have heard about this word definitely in your previous classes also, that this is made up of 33 small bones. Means these all are bones here. Okay, these all are bones. These bones are number, how many numbers? These are of 33 in number. So these small bones, basically we call these small bones vertebrae. Okay, what we call it as vertebrae. And it is also called as a spine or the vertebral column. Now what is vertebral column? Let's have a look closely here, that this is spinal cord is written here. Okay, so and this spinal cord is something which exists into your spinal. Now what spine? Okay, so this is spine and vertebral column. So what is vertebral column here? That portion which exists into the middle of your brain, that this is coming like a snake. Okay, in a snake shape. So this is your vertebral column, and there is a thread like structure, minutely thread like structure, which exists into a just imagine you are having a pipe and you are inserting a thread like structure inside it. Just similarly the thing is here, where vertebral column is just spine and vertebral column is just like the same, your some kind of a normal pipe, and in that a thread like structure called spinal cord, which exists inside that pipe like structure, which is a vertebral column. Okay, so now spine forms a central supporting rod, basically. So it is a rod for the skeleton, due to which we stand straight. Okay, so this is a basically of your whole body rod, which due to which you can able to stand straight. Now spine is also hollow from the center of and encloses the delicate this I have told that it consists delicate spinal cord inside it. Cord means with a thread, basically cord. Okay, so that consists, you can see it here also again closely, that all the vertebrae, there are basically small blocks are here. Okay, just have a look here. It is having a small blocks like structure over here, and these blocks are forming a column that is called vertebral column. Fine. So each vertebrae can move up. Now just imagine if you are having a straight scale or straight erect something in a hard substance. So is it able to move? No. But if you will cut it into the pieces and then you will arrange on the top of each other, then it will able to move, means it becomes flexible. Instead of that the single scale or the single erect thing like structure. So here the vertebrae is in the, I have told that these are in the form of columns. So these columns will make the bones flexible, and this is how you are able to twist and turn your back. Okay, so this is how you can able to bend, you can able to twist, you can able to sit. Okay, so this is how this makes you to gives you the flexibility. And what is the function that these blocks, these vertebral columns, due to the which are arranged on each other. Now spinal cords contain nerves and blood vessels also. Okay, so every portion of our body requires blood vessels. In bones also have told, wherever the blood vessels are not existing, that portion will not considerable as a living being, because every living beings requires an oxygen or some kind of air. Okay, so here also similarly the blood vessels exist to provide the oxygen, and nerves also. Now how can we keep our body and posture maintained? That it is due to the flexibility of the bone by performing exercises and making a good posture. Okay, so how we can keep our backbone healthy, this is how. Next part is our rib cage, that is called ribs. So if you must be remembering, in previous video I have showed you all the parts and all whole skeleton system. This is your chest bone. Okay, so this is your chest bone, and how it is looking like. Is it not looking like a kind of a cage? Cage is what? Pinjra. Okay, so if you have seen in your real life that what is cage, so that it's just similar to the cage. Okay, so this basically it just similar to the cage, and these bones around the base, it is circling around some two types of bones, that is called sternum and your backbone. Okay, sternum and backbone. So this basically forming your cage like structure. So here the most important function of your rib cage is to protect the delicate organs. I have showed you the clip also in a previous video, that it protects the organs in the inside your skull, inside your bones, and bones protects all the delicate organs. Okay, so here now what here the bones rib cage is having 12 pairs of thin curved bones. Okay, so now remember it, that how many bones are here. Vertebrals are having 33, skull was having our 14 plus 8 bones, 22 bones, and now here rib cage are having majorly 12 pairs, not 12 bones. Pairs means 24 bones. Okay, so 12 bones are here, 12 pairs of bones are here in this. Now why we are saying it's pair? Because 12 exist in this side and 12 exist in this side. So here the 12 pairs of bones, which is arranging in a curved manners. Okay, this is how they are arranging in a curved portion. So now there are 10 pairs plus 2 pairs. Okay, so why I'm dividing it like this, because 10 pairs of bones attached to the backbone and plus the sternum. So okay, so now just have a look what is sternum. So let me tell you first that this portion of the front one is called sternum, and this portion is called as and this blue portion is called as backbone. Okay, so this blue portion is backbone and this is your sternum. Now just take 2 sticks like this. Okay, and if you will arrange a circular thing around it, so one bone will start from here and attaching to the another bone. Similarly, second bone starting from here and attaching to this bone. And it is happening continuously with all 12 pairs of bones. Okay, and then 12 pairs will be at the back. Okay, in this formation. So there are 12 bones and 12 bones. And now why I'm saying 10 plus 2 pairs, because 10 pairs of bones are attaching actually to the sternum plus backbone. Fine, but the left over the 2 pairs, then what is happening to the rest 2 pairs? Here the 2 pairs are not attaching to the sternum. Just okay, this is an important point, you have to keep it remember, that these the rest two pairs of bone are not attaching to the sternum, means it is only attaching to the backbone, it is only attaching to your backbone. So what happens if you hang it something, and if you attach one portion of that thing to somewhere, and this another portion just you will leave it hanging in the air, so what happens? So it floats, it's just like it floats in the air. Similarly happens here also, that your rest two pairs floats, okay, because one part is free to move, okay, one part is free to move because it is not attaching to the sternum. So that is why we call that bones are floating ribs. Okay, so just what are floating ribs? Now it must be clear that these two bones which is not attaching to the sternum, these are called floating ribs. Now the fourth part which I was talking you in that tabular form, and that is limbs. So basically limbs, we are having, humans are having two limbs are what? Our upper portion and lower portion, means we are having two kinds of limb, which is of arms and the legs. Okay, so humans are having two pairs of limb, that is forelimbs, that constitutes arms, and another one is hindlimb, that constitutes your legs. Okay, means one portion is of your arm, one portion is of your legs, we are talking about as a limbs. Now we'll talk about deeply about each limb one by one. First is forelimb. Now forelimb is your actually referring to your arms. Okay, don't get confused with the forelimb and hindlimbs. Hindlimb referring to your legs, but forelimbs referring to your arms. Forelimbs referring to your arms. Okay, so here every part is a join of a number of bones in it. Okay, there's no part where even in your skull you consider it as a one bone, but there are 22 bones are there. 22 bones are existing. Similarly, every part is having its different parts, different bones are here. So here are in your forelimbs also, it consists of various bones, where your upper part of your bone, that is called upper arm, is having a long bone which is called humerus, and your lower bone, that is called, this is your lower bone. Okay, this is your lower bone, and this lower bone consists two bones. Okay, fine, this is your upper bone which consists only one bone. This is clearly visible here also, that this is your humerus is having single bone here, but the lower arm is having two bones, that is radius and ulna. Fine, so there the lower part is a collaboration of two bones. So humerus is the long bone on the upper arm, and that must be clear to you, and which is joining to the spine with the help of the shoulder. Okay, so this is visible here also. This humerus bone, this is humerus bone is going, it is joining to the collarbone, which is of your shoulder bone, and it is joining to the spine. Fine. And now the shoulder, that is your collarbone, this is your shoulder bone, this is we are having a bone at the back of this also, which is called shoulder blade. Now I have told you the lower arm also, which is having two bones, radius and ulna, and arm attached to the hands, which is made up of many. This is your hand. Okay, so this arm is attaching to your hand, and it also having a different bones. If you can go in deep way, then you can see it clearly that it is having various number of bones are also here. Okay, so this every bone is having a different joints of many bones, and it is not a single bone. Similarly, just hindlimbs is also the copy of your arms, your forelimbs. Here the joints, just like your forelimb, we are having here upper leg, and here we are having lower leg. This is your upper leg, this is your lower leg. Upper leg, their humerus was the bone of your upper arm. Here the femur is the bone of your upper leg, and here again we are having two bones just like the previous one, radius and ulna. Here we are having tibia and fibula. Okay, so in your legs, in your hind limbs also, just structures just like your forelimb, and just the name of your bones are different. Fine. Now one more important thing you have to remember about your femur is that femur is the longest bone in our body. So if someone will ask you that what is femur, femur is the longest bone in your body. Okay, and the upper leg is a thigh bone that is called femur, and femur is the strongest bone which bears all the, that is why because this femur bears all the weight, all of the weight as exerting on this bone, and this bone is that is why it is the strongest and the longest bone in our body. And now the lower legs are having tibia and fibula, and it attaches to the bone just like a foot, just like a hand. In your hind limbs it was attaching. Okay, and now you have to keep the note remembering it, because what is this note is saying that nearly half of the bone in our body are in our hands, ankle and feet. Okay, so the half of the body of half of the bones in our body existing where these three parts only, hands, ankle and feet. So major part of the bone, major part of the skull means there are many tiny bones are attaching to each other. You feel that these bones are these hands and ankles are very, very small, but it is having a lot of parts of a bone which is in a small manner. So now you must be clear about this table which I have showed you in the starting, in the beginning, that all four parts are clear to you: skull, ribcage, backbone and limbs. So now you must be clear about that. Skull is having 22 bones which protects brains, which is in the form of 14 plus 8. Okay, now backbone is having 33 vertebrae. Now 12 pairs in which one sternum is there, and 12 also we are having 10 plus 2 pair. Okay, 10 plus 2 pair. Now 10 plus 2 you are clear about that 10 bones are attaching to the backbone also and plus sternum also, but here 2 pairs are remaining as a floating ribs. Now limbs also you must be clear that forelimbs and hindlimbs, we are having 2 limbs, and that is arms and legs, and we are having these bones in as a part of your limbs, humerus and lemma, and femur is the longest bone in our whole body. Okay, these all bones are somewhere needs, if you will attach, if in a general way, if I'll talk about if you attach 2 things, so you must have to join these 2 things together somewhere with the help of something. Let's talk about if you want to paste something together, if you want to join something together, so you generally use favicol to attach both the things. Similarly here happens if 2 bones are attaching to each other, so if 2 or 3 bones, whatever, all the bones are attaching, joining somewhere, so it must be joining somewhere, and these if they are joining somewhere, so that place where the bones are meeting each other, that place or that particular point is known as joint. Okay, so that particular points are known as joints. And that, so if if I'll talk about in one go, then joint is a place where 2 bones meet. Okay, so joint is a place where 2 bones meet. Now this it also helps to joint, so whenever you join something, so it is able to move. Whenever you join something, so then it is able to move each other on the particular portion, so that is, it helps to bend, the twist and turns. Okay, so these joints help you to bend, twist and turns. Okay, and the joints and the bones which are joining together by the strong elastic bones, that is called ligaments. Okay, so you need something to join Similarly, here our body is also requiring something that is called, it is just like a favicol, that ligaments helping the bones to join to each other. Okay, and on the basis of this joints, we are having a immovable bones and immovable bones. Okay, so we are having two types of bones, movable bones and immovable bones. The examples are hinge, ball and socket, pivot, gliding of movable, skull, breastbone, and ribcage is of immovable. Okay, so let's talk about this also. Movable bones. Movable, as the name suggests, that movable means the joints that allows the movements of a joining bones, means these joints are moving along each other. Okay, so that is capable to move, so these are called movable joints. So first one is hinge joint, and this hinge joint, hinge is basically, if you have seen your doors, and whether it is of your room door, whether it is of your cupboard doors, so these doors are capable to open it. Okay, you can open and close it by the help of somewhere it is joining at a portion. So where your doors are joining, just observe it minutely, that where the doors are joining to your wall, there are particular things which helps them to join it to the wall, and that is called hinge. Okay, so just like the hinge of your door, your bones are also, it is like a C portion. Fine, this is like, and this is your hinge. What is hinge? And this will be your hinge kind of, it works as a, and it allows the movement in one direction. So what is happening here? Bones are moving into a one direction, and because if you will open your arms, the examples are elbow, knees, fingers, toes. Okay, so if you will observe your elbow, so it goes in a one way, but it comes back, but you cannot move it further. Once it will open to the extreme extent, you cannot able to move further. Okay, so it makes your arms straight, but it cannot move, it cannot take the bones of your lower arms further to the extreme extent, but it only makes your arms to the straight away, and you can bring it back, but you cannot make it into the another direction, means it is taking to your bones into the one direction only, so it can move only forward and backward. Now the ball and socket joint, as the name suggests, that we are having here ball and socket. Just have a look, your diagram is very closely, that it is having a ball like structure, and it is having a ball and a socket means in which the things can be kept. Okay, so here the ball is keeping into a kind of a socket, and this is making a, so this is making your ball like ball and socket joint. So now if just imagine, if you are keeping a ball into a bowl, okay, into a round bowl, round bowl you have to take and just keep the ball, so then this ball is capable to move in all the direction. Okay, so there will be no restriction, and this ball can move into all the direction. So here also similarly the things are is occurring, that this joint allows you to the maximum movement of in all the direction, means that this bone can move in all the direction. This joint exists into shoulder and hips. Now next is pivot joint. Pivot joint exists into your neck that allows the movement to your skull. Okay, that allows the movement to your skull. That join the skull to the backbone, means that skull is joining to the backbone, and with the help of pivot joint. Fine, so this rod shaped vertebral column fits into the hole of the skull, and it enables the head to move up and down and sideways. Okay, so if you have observed, you have feel that you can move your head sideways, right or left, or you can move it into the upwards direction. Fine, so this is how you can move. You cannot turn around your face into 360 degree, you cannot rotate your face throughout this in a circle, but just you can move it into the sideways. And next is gliding joint. We are having a last movable joint, that is a gliding joint. Now gliding joint is a joint. Glide means to slide over. Okay, so what is glide? We generally glide means to slide over each other. Okay, so here the number of bones which exist in our skeleton gliding joints, that is gliding joint, and these bones are actually sliding over each other. Okay, sliding means they are rusting over each other, they are sliding over each other. So this sliding helps them to bend, twist and turn. Okay, so this is called a gliding joint, and it exists in our wrist, ankles and backbones and all. Okay, and the last is immovable joint. Immovable means which cannot move, and we are having a basic example of this skull. Here you have seen that all bones are fixed here. No bone is able to move. I have told only one bone is there which is capable to move in our skull, that is your lower bone. Rest 21 bones are not moving here. So this doesn't allow, the joint which doesn't allow, these are joining. Here you can see that this is a joint. Okay, these are all are joint, fine, but they are not movable, they are not moving. Your skull will be in the same shape as you take the birth. So whatever the shape you are having the skull, it will be in the same shape throughout your life, and it will not move anywhere. This is called your immovable joint, and this is the example of your and whatever what is the example is here, your skull, rib cage and breastbone. Rib cage is also an example here. Rib cage, all the bones in your rib cage protecting your organs, but they are not moving it out, and this is all about immovable joints. Okay, so now here again I have made a table here which is showing your both the joints, that is first one is immovable, then another one is movable. We are having skull, breastbone and rib cage, both are similar, breastbone and rib cage. And movable joints are hinge, ball, socket, pivot and gliding. Hinge is just like a door. Okay, so it moves in the one direction. Ball and socket is in the maximum movement in all the direction, and pivot ups and downs, sideways, and gliding allows bend to the twist. And these all are the example. So I hope all things are clear until now regarding joints and all the skeleton, then how it is happening, how it is protecting, and how it is giving you the shape to all the to your whole body. And in your next, and we are going to continue with the remaining parts in our next video. Till then, just stay safe and have a great day.